Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. Today we're taking a look at the About Vintage by Skov Anderson. And we actually did the unboxing of this watch. Take a look at the description down below if you'd like to see that. But today we're going to take a closer look at the watch. But before we do so, please hit that subscribe button and also click a like. That is definitely the most charitable way to support Average Joe Watch Reviews. So, as we open the beautifully crafted wood box, we take a look at the plush, velvety-like interior of this box. We did showcase this in the unboxing, so let's take a look at the watch itself in full detail. So, as we can see here, we have the About Vintage by Skov Anderson. This is the 1926 at sea model. And based on the brand, you can tell that this is based off of vintage design. Now, this one is a 200-meter water-resistant watch, but in this configuration with the leather strap, you definitely would not be going into water. But About Vintage definitely has you covered when indeed they supplied this box here, and this box actually holds the bracelet. Now, whenever I do a review of the watch, I like to actually use the watch. So as you can see, we have some scuff marks on the bracelet itself. And that definitely shows that I have definitely used the watch and have absolutely enjoyed this piece so far. So let me show you how easy it is to switch out the leather strap for the bracelet. First and foremost, we take a look. It's very soft on the interior. You've got the contrast tan leather, genuine leather. This is a 20-millimeter strap. And as you can see, the branding inside the strap, very nicely done. Just a very vintage looking strap. It does have the padding. It's just done very nicely. And you can even see the About Vintage logo on the buckle itself. And the buckle is done in a polish. So is the tang. So what we do is we take the quick release and we go 1 and a 2, just like that. And then you can throw them back in the box. And now we're left with just the dial. So what we can now do is take a look at the bracelet itself. Check this out. They actually have quick release on the bracelet. This is the first time that I have personally encountered a watch brand that gives you quick release pins for both, or even for a stainless steel bracelet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fit this on to the watch, and I'm gonna show you in real time how easy or how tough it is. We'll see. I'm not making any predictions. So there's one that's in. Hopefully you guys are able to see this, that I will indeed be able to fit this in, hopefully with no problem. Let's take a look. We got 1 and 2, and there we go. Just that easily, we have that on. So you can see, and I have a camera. I mean, I was doing this through the camera, so without a camera, I would have done that even quicker. So as you can see, it has a very user-friendly quick release system. And let's do a wristwatch check for today. Today is actually Average Joe's birthday, and he got, or should I say, he received a Timex Q, the Snoopy. This one is the Mask Snoopy, and this is the Batman bezel. Love the vintage look at this. Look at this bracelet. You'll be seeing a review of this bad boy real soon, guys. So definitely tune in. So we will exchange the Snoopy Timex 4, the About Vintage. I think I actually do prefer it on the bracelet, whereas I thought I would like it better on the leather. And I want to show you how it fits on the wrist. I actually have it fitted to my wrist because I actually, as you can see, have used it. I wasn't really very nice to this bracelet so far, and I mean, this is a watch I'm keeping, so I don't really care. So far, I've really enjoyed the watch. You can see it fits very well on my 7-inch wrist, and there you go, guys. I mean, that is a perfect fit. So why does it fit so perfectly? Well, let's take a look at some dimensions. So the watch measures in, and let's just take a look here. We're gonna do the case diameter. So the case diameter is measuring in at a 39. Very, very nice size. It is still bigger than an actual vintage piece of this era, but they modernized it, which is a really cool touch. And we take a look at the case thickness. We're looking at a 12 millimeter. Not bad, right? As we know, this is a 20 millimeter lug width, and it fits so well on my 7-inch wrist because when we do the lug to lug measurements, we are looking at right at a 47 millimeter, okay? Now guys, let's take a look at my wrist. My wrist is right around a 55 millimeter width. We don't typically do the width. We usually do our circumference of a 7-inch. So being at a 55 width, having a 47 lug to lug is gonna fit really, really well. So that kind of gives you guys an indication, maybe even more so than the diameter of your wrist. So just giving you guys just another way of possibly seeing if a watch would fit your wrist without actually trying it on. So I did have one issue, and for me, it's not a big issue, but for a lot of people out there, this might be an issue. As you can see, the triangle does not quite, and actually, can I get a good shot of that? Can we get a, because here's the problem. The bezel, okay, you can see it right here. It's not lined up properly. So if I even move it over one, say, it's either a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Now I did bring this issue up to About Vintage. They told me just simply send it in and they will fix it at no cost. That's all I needed to hear so that I could share it with you guys. They also stated that this is not a common problem, and I actually confirmed this with someone else that owned this watch that they did not have this problem. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because this watch is finished so nicely and they have so many incredible details on this watch that I really cannot fault them for something that's to me very, very minute and something that I don't typically pick up on. And the only reason I did is because I'm a reviewer and I need to really take a close look at these watches. So that's one thing. This is a very high polish case side on each side. They've done a really nice job with that. And as you can see, there's beautiful brushing on the top, and it's really, really well done. I mean, even on the bracelet itself, I mean, it's flawless. They did an incredible job on the finishing of this watch, I have to admit. The finishing of this watch is actually above and beyond what I would expect at this price point, by far. They have a really nice milled clasp, and the engagement of the buckle and the fold over clasp is absolutely flawless. There is 4 micro adjusts, and this is actually, they actually use screws for the links. So again, a really nice touch. I've just been nothing but impressed by this watch. You do have a signed crown, and you've got that coin edging on the crown itself. You can see even a coin, perfect coining on the bezel itself. The bezel is really, really nice. Check this out. There is virtually no backplay, guys. Check that out. I cannot find a point where I can. Very, very good bezel. Very good. And the engagement is very it clicks just perfectly, but it's just that alignment issue, guys. You know, so that might bother a lot of you guys out there, but just know that they will fix it if you do have that, but I don't foresee that being an issue for you guys. I really don't. We take a closer look at the dial itself, and you can see it's got this diamond pattern to it. Gives it that like really just premium feel. It really does. It's kind of like a I don't know. It just screams premium to me. I don't know. It reminds me of like leather seats in a luxury car. It's done really well. You've got gold on the hands. So it's gold hands. You've got lume on all the indices, and even with the indices, I'm taking a look here. Yeah, they're not outlined in gold, but they are done well though. I mean, they are applied. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. They are right on the sides. You can see that there's a little bit of a raise. They're definitely raised. You could check that out. Yeah, so they're a little bit raised, and there's some gold that outlines that. Now take a look at the 12 o'clock. The 12 o'clock is actually recessed in the dial, and so is 6 o'clock. I actually just noticed that. That's pretty cool. There is some distortion with the dial itself, and you can see it's that box crystal. You see that bevel? But there's not a lot of, I mean, there's some distortion, but not as much as you would get with a mineral crystal. So they definitely use a sapphire crystal. All right, very, very nicely done. And yeah, the lollipop second hand actually has the lollipop on the, I say the correct side. Usually you see a lollipop on the counterbalance. So it's nice to see that it's on the side where you could actually tell, you know, where the second hand truly is. You do have a lume pip, the lumed hands, and the lumed indices. Let's take a look at a lume shot. So if we put the About Vintage side by side with the Seiko Patty Turtle, I mean, there's no competition there. But the Luminescence is okay.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So, I mean, after 10 minutes of elapsed time, you could see that the About Vintage pip is the only thing that's really still pretty bright. But, I mean, I could still see the hands in person, but on camera, it's really not showing up too well. Whereas the Seiko is still shining true. So if you're looking for a diver that has really incredible lume, this one may be a pass for you. So they call this the Green Turtle dial. And let's take a look at the back of the case. Back of the case, they actually offer a free engraving. So I actually had Average Joe Watch Reviews, established 2018. Now, they're using a TMI VH31 sweep, which is a mecha quartz. It's a high beat movement. So it actually appears to look like an automatic movement. So they do a really good job with that. So this one will require a battery, but I don't have a problem with that because of the fact that they really did a nice job with this Seiko quartz movement that they put in here. So that's really done nicely. I like this case back. It's done very cleanly, and I love the fact that you can get free engraving. So At the time of this review, this watch does retail for $375 US, but is on sale at $337. As I said, I enjoyed this piece, and I think you will too. Again, as long as you can forgive the loom, and the fact that this is indeed a quartz movement, I think you're getting a really high quality piece that's really finished well. I mean, the presentation of, with the box is done really, really well, guys. It is done in a authentic wood, and you can keep the box in this, and it really just shows off the watch really nicely. You get the extra leather strap that comes with. I mean, it's a great piece, and it does have that vintage look. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me, and I want you to remember one thing, that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.